Alright, come back at you. We had a long video there talking about this and that, mostly dealing with end time stuff. We'll talk a little bit about equipment right now because, you know, we got the revolt coming up. The revolt is coming. It's very near. Very near. You know, we got the timeline. I don't look at the timeline all the time with the camera because, you know, just everybody should already know about the timeline. You probably should already have a picture of it on your phone to keep you in the know, because this is pretty much set. It's pretty much set where it's at. You know, I can't see it really changing from where it is much, if any. It could change a little bit, but not much. I mean, we are definitely in the last 7 years. You know, the revolt is got to come. The revolt is at any time. The revolt is any time now. So, you know, things have been going kind of crazy in the world. They've been going kind of crazy. So, revolution is at hand. The Antichrist should be revealed sometime either mid-2027 or 2028. And the revolution has to happen, and then the rapture has to happen, and then the revealing of the Antichrist has to happen. So we have a lot of things that are almost ready right now. This is 2026 now. We're into 2026. We ain't got a whole lot of time left. 1 or 2 years. 1.5 to 2.5 years is all we got left before the rapture. Okay? The rapture's got to happen. If the timeline is correct, and I believe the timeline is correct. I believe it is. If the timeline isn't quite correct, then it's, you know, there's going to be, I can't see it going more than another year. I can't. I really can't. If the timeline is correct, then, yeah. Anyway, we talked about a lot of that in this last video, and the revolution is at hand. You got to be ready. So I've been preparing my my autumn, spring, summer. I still got to prepare my autumn kit because I want to modify that one Alice pack I got. I've got a Coyote Brown Alice pack. I'm going to want to modify that one. Anyway, we won't talk about that yet. So I've got M81 Woodland Alice pack, which will serve as a good base for these tiger stripe pouches. Tiger stripe pouches I got on there, and I've got in my mind how I want to make it. I'm gonna do that soon. I'm gonna make a sausage roll pouch for other kit, sleeping kit, whatnot, to go, a roll to go along the bottom there. I got a pack frame made by a SEAL, by a company that's owned by a ex-SEAL, former SEAL, I should say former SEAL, and gonna go ahead and get that. They're making them right now. I'm gonna get one of those from them. Put this pack bag on that frame, and I want to put that sausage roll at the bottom. That will be made out of 1000 denier tiger stripe, Yeah. So, but then that will be ready to go, except for the harness system. I want to get the Molly to Woodland. You know, I mean they don't make tiger stripe stuff. You know, for this old uh, this old uh, Alice, medium Alice. So it's all, you know. M81 Woodland is the most. It's as camouflage as you're gonna get, right? And I'm burping and everything right now. So anyway, I gotta get these Woodland camo shoulder harness and scapular pad. Gotta get that set up, and I gotta get the waist belt. Woodland. And then I need that frame. Get that frame from that company. That fellows, I got a small company, and we'll get that frame. Get that all set up. When that's set up, then I'll be good. I'll set it up the way I want, and then I'll be ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. All right. See, that's the thing when you go with a patrol pack. You don't want anything that's too heavy. Anything like 70 pounds. I don't know where they come up with some of this stuff. You know, I mean, you know, back in the old days, they used to, you know, they used to go very lightweight. Even in Vietnam, as lightweight as they could go. But you know, those rucksacks back then in Vietnam, they were mostly comprised of ammo. You know, I mean, when they went out, they loaded up for bear. You know, most of the weight that they carried was in ammo. You know, I mean, of course, you definitely needed a poncho because it would be raining all the time in Vietnam. You know, so. But they did not concern themselves in Vietnam with things like sleeping bags and other crap like that, tents. No, you just, you know, made yourself a spot, laid down. Hip hole. Made yourself a little indentation in the ground for your hips. You know, you sit and lean back on something, be covered up with foliage, whatever, whatnot, and go to sleep. You know, of course, you're sleeping on shifts. You know, of course, there's always tigers, right? So guys go missing, get eaten by a tiger in the middle of the night. Bengal tigers. So yeah, that kind of stuff would happen back then. You know, you had tigers uh, in Vietnam. You know, you don't have tigers in the Middle East. You know, I don't know if we'll ever see another Vietnam. I sincerely doubt it. I think that those days are over as far as Vietnam is concerned. Uh, you know, or not Vietnam. Vietnam's obviously over, but talking about jungle warfare. You know, those days are definitely over. Um, but is there going to be warfare in the United States? I definitely think so. You know, there will be warfare in the United States. You know, uh, it's going to be a guerrilla warfare. You know, is what's going to happen. I guarantee you, there's going to be guerrilla warfare. I think it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be very chaotic, you know, because you got people that are not going to want to be involved. You got people that are going to be involved. And you got people that are going to rat people out. You know, it's going to be a mess. Revolt is coming. Revolt is coming. Revolt is worldwide. It's not just in the United States. It's worldwide. But who knows? I mean, the thing is that you just gotta kind of be prepared for anything and everything nowadays. There's gonna be some crazy stuff happen. We just gotta be ready for it. Gotta be ready for anything. Gotta be ready for anything. Any kind of warfare. I live around, I mean, it's mountains everywhere around me. It's not like 14,000 foot Rocky Mountains, you know. I mean, I'm here on the East Coast, but these are mountains. You know, they'd be considered foothills probably in Colorado, you know, or Utah. These would be considered like foothills, but that's still mountain ranges around me. And you know, everywhere around me is woods. It's a mix, though. It's a mix of deciduous, which is trees that lose their leaves in the winter, and evergreens. You know, I mean, if I go just east of here a ways, there'll be like more evergreens than you could shake a stick at. And where I am right now, mostly deciduous. So we lose a lot of our leaves around here in the autumn. So this is why you get the northeast fall foliage is a big deal, you know. I mean, it's a big deal especially for leaf peeper people. You know, there are leaf peeper people that come from all over the world to New England. That's right, they really do. They come from Germany, they come from Australia, they come from Japan, they come from all over the world to look at the leaves. It's the weirdest thing you ever did see. People book flights, you know. People book flights to come here and look at leaves. Yeah. It actually happens. But I don't know where I was going with all that. But you know, but we have you know, different trees here and different trees there. Go to Maine, it's mostly it's the pine tree state, you know. You go to mostly pine trees, you know. There's some regular foliage there too. There's some maple trees and whatnot, you know. Regular old deciduous maple trees. But then you got, you know, New Hampshire is some maple trees, and there's a lot of pine trees and stuff, and then you got Vermont's mostly maple trees, probably, I would say. And then the rest of New England is interspersed, you know. It's a lot of maple trees and a lot of pine trees and evergreens, you know. You just got to be ready for anything. If you live in an area that's mostly, you know, pine trees, let's say you're in New England, if you live in an area that's mostly pine trees, then you'd probably be better off with like fleck tarn camouflage, because, you know, that's a darker green. Fleck tarn is a very spotted, you know, works really well with pine trees and stuff, you know. If you're interspersed though, interspersed probably. I mean, M81's a good one. You know, M81's good. Tiger stripe is good. You got different types of tiger stripe. You got lighter tiger stripe. You got darker tiger stripe. You know. But anyway, yeah. Well, I don't have a whole lot of time left on my camera, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. But I thought I would talk a little bit about my pack and other stuff. We got to be ready. We got to be ready for the revolt, revolution. Revolution comes right before the rapture. And then the rapture happens. As soon as the rapture happens, then things are probably going to go crazy, I would imagine. Antichrist will be revealing himself. And a lot of things will really go downhill. See you later.